stop suppressing your emotions, okay? I got the idea to talk about emotions and kind of my thoughts on them, my journey, if you will, because I was at a family dinner recently over Thanksgiving break, and I was feeling so emotional, and I'm like, why am I feeling like this? Like, what is going on? I was literally just looking around the room at all of my family, and I was like about to cry, and I'm like, okay, why am I about to cry? And I was looking at like pictures of my grandma, looking at pictures of me as a kid with my grandparents, and just feeling so emotional. And I was talking to my grandma, trying not to cry, and I'm like, why am I trying to like hold back my tears? Like, why can't I just let myself cry? Why can't I let myself feel these emotions? And it got me thinking about like emotions and how a lot of people view being emotional as a negative thing, and people view emotion like being emotional is seen as like a really bad thing. But I have changed my perspective on that recently. Well, I mean, not really that recently, but before I get into the nitty gritty of this episode, obviously I changed my format. I was not really resonating with the format I was doing before. It kind of felt too like rehearsed and like, what's the word? Performative. Sorry, that word is overused these days. It felt like a performance, honestly, that I was putting on. Like, it didn't really feel like me. I want it to feel more casual. I want it to feel more like a FaceTime call. So I'm gonna kind of do this unedited, just casual chat, you and me. I'm not gonna do my notes app anymore. Sorry, I know, but I am still gonna do my afterthought segment. So I just wanted to kind of change the format and talk about emotions. I know I've been very, very emotional recently. The few weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago, was like one of the most emotional weeks of my life. I don't know what was going on with me, but I was crying like every day over what? I don't know. But I realized that there was definitely like something deeper going on that I needed to face that I wasn't facing. That's what happens a lot of times when you feel really emotional. You realize, oh, I haven't been facing the number one problem that's been going on. But like I said, there is a stigma around being emotional that it's like a horrible thing to be emotional, but your emotions are really where your power lies, because being emotional just means that you feel really deeply, and that you something my therapist says is that you love really big. You have a lot of emotions. That's amazing. Like, would you rather just be an unfeeling robot? Like, it's a good thing that you're feeling a lot. It's a good thing that you're emotional, because it's better to be emotional than to not feel anything at all and just be someone who's boring and doesn't feel anything. So, it is not a bad thing that you're emotional. They make you human, and they hold your power. And you should never, ever apologize for being emotional or for crying or for anything like that, because it makes me so sad when someone like cries and they're like, I told myself I wasn't going to cry, or like, I'm so sorry I'm crying. Like, never apologize for that, because um it's a good thing. Like, you shouldn't be insecure for feeling something, because every single person feels strong emotions whether they want to admit it or not. Like, so many people try to suppress their emotions and be like nonchalant, as people say. Like, it's not cool to not feel emotions. You're just boring. You're boring. And then, so like, yeah, I don't know. Just, it makes me upset when people apologize for their emotions. Your emotions are not invalid. You're feeling them for a reason. Like, those emotions that you feel, they wouldn't just come up out of nowhere. So they're valid. Like, even if it's just like out of nowhere you feel sad, maybe your brain is trying to tell you something that you need to face that you've been suppressing. Even if it's a small thing, like, I don't know an example, just a small thing that you didn't know you were emotional about. Maybe there's a deeper reason for it. Sorry, I have some notes, that's why I'm looking over here. And another thing is, what else? Oh yeah, they may be trying to tell you something you haven't noticed about yourself, something that you need to let go of. And for example, this isn't really an emotion, but if you're like a people pleaser, I'm a people pleaser, there's probably a deeper reason or a deeper thing that's going on, or a deeper something that happened in your past that has caused you to become a people pleaser. Where I don't know where I saw this quote or what the exact quote is, but it's from Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton. It's all I don't remember the exact quote, but it's something about how all of us are made up of experiences that things that we've experienced in the past. For example, like I said, I'm a people pleaser. It's because I was bullied in 5th grade, and I wanted to be liked so bad that I would just like morph into what I thought each person I would interact with wanted from me. And so that, has followed me into my life, throughout my life. I'm still a people pleaser, even though I know that, you know, who cares? Like, I can just be myself and the right people will gravitate towards me. But it's hard to unlearn habits that you've learned for your entire life. So I'm going to talk more about that later, like healing those parts of myself. But yeah, so I'll touch on that later. But yeah, you can also use your emotions to your advantage. Like I said, there's always a reason that you're feeling those emotions. You can use them to anchor your power, and you can also alchemize them into something else, or transmute. Is that the right word? I don't know. For example, jealousy to inspiration, sadness to action, anger to passion. I used to be a very jealous person, especially when I was in middle school, and I just felt really insecure, and like, things were going on, and people would have things that I wanted, like, I don't know an example. But I also really dealt with a lot of jealousy last fall, specifically because I was going on the internet a lot, and I was just not in a very good place, because I was searching for a new job, and I felt behind because I really, like, it's hard to get a job when you're 16, but everyone in my life was like, do you have a job yet? Do you have a job yet? Do you have a job yet? And I was like, I'm gonna kill you. So that caused a lot of jealousy to come up, but I've really been able, with a lot of work, I've been able to really turn that into inspiration. And hold on, my heater just came on. So if I ever get jealous, which doesn't really happen that much anymore because I've had the habit of just being like, no, actually, I'm going to be inspired by this person. If you are ever jealous of someone, just look at it this way. They are showing you what is possible for you. If I'm ever on the internet and someone has something I want, I'm like, oh, I can get that too. Like, even if I don't get it right this very second, someday I can. It's not impossible. Nothing is impossible if other people have it. So you don't have to just sit in that jealousy because that's a low vibrational emotion. You don't want to sit in that, which obviously, like I said, you need to feel your emotions. You need to let them out. You need to acknowledge the emotions that you're feeling because you're feeling them for a reason. You have to acknowledge them, face them, sit with them, lean into them, and then, turn them into something positive. Like, if you're sad about something, use that as fuel to do something about it. Even if what you do about it is a really small thing. An example would be if you are really sad about where you live and you hate your living environment, do one little thing to change it or romanticize it or feel more joy in your space. That's something that you can do to take action towards a happier situation. Or anger to passion, that's another thing. For example, if I ever tell somebody my dreams and even if they don't explicitly say, like, I don't believe in you, if I feel like they don't believe in me, because I read into everything, I will just be like, okay, that is fuel to prove them wrong. Because if someone's like, oh, you can't do that, I'll be like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Like, I saw a video or a quote. I think it was from Marilyn Monroe. No, it was from Vogue. I don't know. I'm sorry. But it said, if someone tells you you can't do something, do it twice and take a picture. Hey! So, yeah, it's really important to not listen to what anybody says about your dreams. If people are, this is kind of going off topic. If somebody doesn't believe in you, actually, it's not off topic, and you are angry about that, use that anger to fuel your passion to prove them wrong and to be like, ha, I did it, idiot. Just kidding, don't be mean. But yeah, so like I said, I've really worked to change my perspective on emotions, but I never suppress them in that way. If I feel an emotion, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm feeling angry, I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling blah blah. Like, it really helps to just name the emotion. And journaling has absolutely changed my life. I want to do an entire dedicated video to journaling because I do it every single day. It's become like my main hobby. I love it so much. I want to show you. I got a new journal yesterday, and I was looking, and it didn't match my aesthetic, so I got a black one, and then I added a bunch of stickers to it, and it looks so cute. So, anyways, I got a new journal, and something that I have done is if I feel an emotion, I will write out, like, why am I feeling this, and what can I do about it. You don't always have to do something about it, but an example is like, if I'm feeling scared about the future, why am I feeling scared about the future? And what can I say that's going to make me feel better in this moment? For example, like, it's not in my control and everything's already written for me. Everything is already going to work out. I'm fine. I can worry about the present moment. Like, whatever I need to say to make myself feel better is what I will say. So working through it and seeing it on paper helps so much. Or just being like, writing down an emotion and being like, what can I change this to? Like, if I'm jealous, don't be jealous. I'm sorry. If I'm jealous, I can be like, actually, I'm going to admire the person who has what I want because that's amazing for them. That's so cool. I can clap for them until it's my turn to experience what they experience, you know? Or I can be like, why do I want what they have? And then I can be like, okay, that's amazing. I'll get it at some point. Even if I don't, I can congratulate them until I get what they have. They're showing me what's possible for me. If somebody has your dream job, that means it's not impossible for you to get your dream job because other people have it. You know, nothing makes you different from them. I mean, not nothing, but like, you know what I'm saying. Okay, next thing that I'm saying, next point that I have about suppressing emotions is I really learned the hard way to not do that because in 6th grade I was going through a lot of like anxiety and insecurity and stuff like that. So, and I did not tell anyone, not even the people closest to me. I did not tell them. Little did I know that that would lead to even more issues. So it started off as like just anxiety, and then I was literally just I couldn't sleep. I was so anxious all the time. It was really bad. Um, and then I did not tell anybody, and then it turned into depression. Ooh, sorry. And then it turned into insecurity and low self-esteem. And then it turned into me being like, there's nothing I can do about this. Maybe I should just die. Sorry. Ooh. Okay, I don't want to say that. Sorry. That was like, whoa. We're going from 0 to 100. Not whoa. Sorry. Anyways, but like basically, okay, let me just make this clear. I didn't actually want to die, but I just was like, literally, what am I supposed to do? Okay, sorry. That was, okay, whatever, it's fine. I'm being open and honest. So then, it got really bad to the point where I was like, okay, I literally just need to talk about this. So I told my parents, and I immediately felt a weight lifted off my shoulders crazy style. I felt like the craziest weight lifted off my shoulders. I was like, oh my gosh, why have I not talked about my emotions before? And just letting those emotions out that had been pent up for months immediately made me feel better. Like, and through that, like, as you talk about your emotions and as you feel those really, really difficult emotions, you learn how to deal with them and you learn what you need in order to deal with them. Like, you're like, what do I need right now to make myself feel better? Even if all you need is to just lay in bed all day, that's fine. Like, do it. So, yeah, anyways, in 6th grade, I really learned the importance of talking about my emotions. And I also have learned most of what I've learned on how to deal with my emotions is from therapy. I need to talk about therapy. Therapy. I do cognitive behavioral therapy, which is basically changing the way that your mind thinks and processes situations, and that has helped me so much. Being able to talk openly with my emotions about it to an unbiased person who is not actively involved in my life and can help me with those things really helps. And then, like, I've noticed the impact of my life in my everyday life so much. Like, if I go through an emotion, I'm like, what happened to my past that made me feel this way? And then I view it in a different perspective. Like, for example, I would, especially in 5th, because of being bullied in 5th grade, I would always be like, everybody literally hates me and I'm unwanted and I'm always going to be left out no matter what happens, no matter where I go. But through therapy, I've been able to be like, actually, that's all in my head. That's not true. Like, that's just my past talking. Like, people are not going to leave me out all the time. And if they do, it doesn't say anything about me. If people leave you out, that's does not say anything about you. So last thing that I want to touch on, unless I go off topic, is shadow work. I have learned about this through the internet, and it is literally the best thing that has ever happened to me. Literally. What it is facing your emotions head on and healing them in that way. And I have done shadow work for months, and it has helped me more than I can even, like, say in words. Basically, like, for example, if I'm a perfectionist, so I would be like, what in my past happened that has made me a perfectionist? I will be able to admit that I'm a perfectionist. I will see, oh, it's because of this happening in my past. And then I will be like, okay, well, getting something done is better than being perfect. Being perfect is impossible. My flaws make me human. And then I just kind of work through that perfectionism in that way. Oh my gosh, it's the best thing ever. Ever, ever, ever. It has healed so many parts of myself. So many limiting beliefs that I've had. So many doubts that I've had have been healed through shadow work. So I really, really recommend it. That's like the number one journaling method that I do. I want to make a whole video about journaling, as I said. But yeah, so in conclusion, the main topics that I want to reiterate: your emotions make you human. Let yourself feel them. Your emotions are powerful and they can be used for good, and they can wicked for good, and they can be used to anchor your power. They can be very useful in healing parts of yourself. Sorry, I've been looking at myself. They can be useful in healing parts about yourself, finding out more about yourself, and you should never feel bad for them because your emotions are always valid. You are always feeling your emotions for a reason. So, anyways, I am going to. So, I've been uploading every other week because that's like what works best for me. But I'm gonna be now uploading uploading every week because I wanted to, this format is obviously different, and I really have been called to do these like talking videos like this, like these casual videos, because I watch a lot of videos like this on YouTube of people just talking very like casual videos, and I'm like, I really want to do that. I love videos like that, and I've been called to do it, so I'm going to do it. So it's going to be this, and then the next week it'll be a vlog or a vlog. So yeah, I'm going to end with my afterthought. I'm still going to continue this section. Oh, that was loud. Okay. So if you don't know what this is, basically it's just a little thing that I wrote down months ago, and it's like a story, a little, anything like that, whatever. So let's see. Why would I write that? I wrote one of my hear me outs, which is I don't know if it's actually named this, the chemistry tutor. You know, the one that does like the tutorials of like, and it's like this, I'll put a picture, but that's my hear me out. So thank you so much for sticking around, icons, and I will see you next week. I have a chaotic vlog coming. So I will see you next time, and thank you so much for listening to me talk about emotions. I hope this helped you. I love you. Make sure you subscribe if you're not already. Like the video, do all your things, and I love you.